It's Van. I have it running, recording me. Oh, it's working. Okay, hold on. Okay. That was interesting. The reason what was going on there was I have two monitors here. I have one that the camera's on here, and the other one is over here. And those of you that listen to our podcast know that I have two monitors because I've got to have the audio system, the soundboard, uh, our show notes, usually like the box score from the game we're talking about. I have a whole bunch of things going on all over the screens, and it takes me two screens to get all that on there. And so I'm just curious. I was curious to see monitor to watch myself, and it was just the logo. It wasn't showing anything. And so then I realized that was very useful because I could have been sitting here talking all that time, and it wasn't. Okay, there's a button up there. This is hard to do. It's backwards and upside down. There's a button up there that I had to push to say begin broadcast. So I could have just been sitting here talking to the screen blank, but I saw it. And so as soon as I clicked it, there was like a 3 or 4 second delay. And then I popped up over on the other monitor 5 seconds behind me here. So we were talking to, it was a strange thing. Okay. So I always look at myself here when I really need to be looking at you, right? Because you're up there. That's you. Hey. And that's me down here. So I try to bear in mind that I should look at the black cyclops eye with the blue parentheses around it and not at myself. But oh well. Another thing I wanted to test out is to see if the soundboard works on here. And so, of course, my old standby is to find out if that's true, is to say, and I don't know. I mean, I could hear that, but I don't know if you could hear that. So I guess we'll find that out shortly. I wonder if I could make this available to folks on Twitter. I'm going to see one more time. And if I double up here, I apologize. It'll only be for a second. I'll get rid of it as soon as I can grab. I just want to grab the URL real quick. So I'm going to go to the other. And I'm grab it. And I'm going to close it out before it can pop up. All right. Now what I'm going to do. Bear with me here. I know that nobody's watching right now, but I guess I'm probably recording this for later, right? I don't know. I'm not sure if I was supposed to say at the beginning that I should record this or if it's just going to leave me a recording at the end. But in any case, bear with me here. I'm going to open another window. I'm going to go to Twitter. All right, bear with me here. All right, let's see. All right, so let's see if anybody shows up. I don't know if I'll even know, right? I'm not sure if I'm even going to know if anybody shows up. Where do I look to see? This is very much just testing something out. Here's the other thing about this. This is the free version, and Jared told me about this. So it's the free version because it's got the little duck. See, it's hard to do everything backwards and sideways. It's got the little duck up here. Whereas if I paid money and had like a subscription per month for this, it would have the AU Wishbone logo up there. So what I got to decide is, do John and I want to do this on Monday nights, or do we want to just stick with what we've been doing? It would be neat to record the show this way and have people's comments. See, again, it's pointing the wrong way. It's backwards. I have to go like that. Okay. Right over there, I have a column where comments will appear. So if you're watching this and you want to make live comments during the show, they would pop up over here. Okay, I guess. Oh, okay. So I click on it to make the comment pop up down here. Oh, that's pretty right. We would have the AU Wishbone logo, and then I would get to see it over here, and I could hide it. Yeah, like that. That's pretty cool. So I can show comments by doing that, and I can hide them like that. Now here's the split screen. I'm assuming this is where John and I would be on the screen at the same time. Oh, I have to invite somebody. Up to 5 guests. Huh. Okay. Well, I don't know who I would invite. So I am going to talk about LSU for just a minute. Again, let me make sure that to see them. Christian Tut. So we'll have that kind of thing. If that worked, I'm looking forward to listening to this to get a sense of, is it working? Oh, it says that we have one live viewer, which is AU Wishbone. Well, but that's us. So I don't understand. I guess that was when I went in just now. So, all right, let me open up another browser. I'm doing it in another browser on another page so it doesn't interfere with this. Okay. So if I get any audience at all, I guess I'll talk about LSU. I love comments. Let me go to Twitter, actually. And on this browser, I'm going to have to log in and everything. So, all right, hold on. All right, so I'm going to Twitter on the other screen, on the other browser. And let me see. I just tweeted that I was doing this. Oh, it actually tweets out a link to it. Let me see what happens when I click on that. Oh, gosh. You can watch it in Twitter. It's... All right. Well, that's the most awesome thing. I'm going to retweet that. I'm going to retweet that with that comment. Holy cow, you can actually watch the live show in Twitter. And I'm going to say at Yard Sale Artist. Didn't even tell me that. I may have to get this now. I think John and I could make some good mileage. Paul, what's up? We got our first, you are our first commenter. This is awesome. All right. So I'm figuring all this out. It's really neat because there's a lot going on at once here. I'm trying to understand what I'm doing. I'm trying to understand how to work all this. We're on the new computer, so nothing is simple, right? I'm figuring all this out. Paul or anybody else that is watching, I need this answer from you. I need to know, can you hear this? This is what I usually ask John, but obviously John's not here. So can you hear this? Did you hear it? John would say no, whether he heard it or not. John would say no, couldn't hear anything. Yeah, I know, Marco. That's true. We need to dispel of that fiction. So I just need to know. Oh, okay. So dang it. The answer from Paul is he couldn't hear it. Oh well. I guess I spent a lot of time a couple of days ago. My wife actually linked up with me on Zoom so that we could try to get it to working for the podcast. And it turned out, I think the problem was there's like 7 different things you have to have all lined up the exact way for it to work. And like one of them was, in other words, they all need to be lined up, and one of them was like that, so it didn't work. So we went in and I think we fixed the one thing that wasn't working, but apparently it didn't work it doesn't work for this. It only worked for Zoom. Yeah. So, oh well. I guess the other thing is one of these days I'm just have to run a speaker to the microphone so I can just play it right here, and then everybody can hear it. That's what we did back in the old days. I actually used to have a speaker. I used to have a speaker hanging from the ceiling here, and it like a spider, and it was right here over the old microphone, and that way I could just hit buttons on the soundboard on my iPad, and it would play into the speaker. But that was a very clumsy way of doing it. And I thought, surely there's an internal way. And so, in fact, here's let me see, this is probably stupid, but here is the soundboard. There it is. Woot, 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 woot. All right. You've seen inside information. And now I don't know how to get this back on here. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Okay. There we go. All right, so I'm going to go over and check. Oh, I think it means live viewers through the YouTube page. So it says 3 now. So that's cool. Let me try one more time. I think I left the Twitter open. Yeah, okay. I just looked and Jared has already replied. It said, "You never listen to me." I do too. It's not my fault you put out 74 podcasts and 15 videos a week. My gosh, man. I don't know where you have the time. You got a lot of you guys over the years that said, I don't know how you have time to work a full-time job, have a family, write 19 novels, and do podcasts and everything else. How do you have time to do all that? And admittedly, that does sound like a lot. But then there's Jared. Okay. Trying to get it centered again. I shouldn't have done that. Jared does artwork and paintings and stuff, has a family, works a job, does 6 hours of podcasts a week, and does this video stuff. So I have nothing but admiration and amazement at what he's able to accomplish. But dang, man, give me a break. I can't listen to everything. All right. So let me see. I got a message, and now that's from Alex. I'll get to that. Okay, so I just wanted to see if anybody had seen that and was going to. Okay, all right. So, all right. I guess I'll put out one more note that I'm going to do some LSU. Let's see, it's 2:54. So let's say at 3 o'clock. And what I want is you guys' feedback on, is this cool? Is this something that John and I, want to do? Is this something that we want to do every week? Is this something that would be good to go? So in 5 minutes, 2:50 p.m. It's 2:55. Okay. So in 5 minutes, we'll do a little LSU talk. I'm just still trying out some things. So in basically 4 minutes, I'm going to talk a little bit about LSU, just some things that are on my mind. Nothing revelatory, I don't think. I think we were up to 3 viewers. We're at 2 now, but I just put out the call again. Let me go over to the AU Wishbone page. I was doing this on mine, but I think I can easily switch over It's funny. It ain't Twitter weird. Every platform is different. Why won't it let me? Oh, because I'm not in the same. All right. It's not letting me log into AU Wishbone on the. I was using like Microsoft, whatever the crap their new browser is. All right. I think it's going to continue filming me, so bear with me again. We're 3.5 minutes away from LSU talk. Bear with me here. I'm just trying to get all this figured out. So I'm going to open another browser, go into Twitter on Chrome. That should give me the option to go to the AU Wishbone account. Let me go into, no, still not. I guess it's because this is a new computer. All right. Forget that. Going back. All right, I'm back. Instead, we'll go the iPhone route. So let me doodle. So let me try this. I'm going to go on here. And I'm going to go to, I know this is all fascinating, but we are, less than 3 minutes away from talking about LSU. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go, stop it. I'm going to go into my account, and I'm going to find the link that I just posted. That'll be easier. And we're going to tell folks this is going on, okay? So there it is. 12 minutes ago. So now I'm going to go into the AU Wishbone account, juggling all these different accounts, and I'm going to find my tweet. That's the one about the thing. What did y'all think? What did you guys think about the theme music? I tried changing the, you know what I generally do is during the season I use that bouncy reggae type song because it says who's in the mood for some football because there's actually a game. During the off season, I use that more fast-paced dance music one, that which came from Formula One video game actually. But for the end titles, we've traditionally used that Big George Webley song, what is it, Handbags and Glad Rags or something, which I like a lot. It's a good closing song, it has the piano and everything. But this past episode, I used the Saturday Night Live closing, which was kind of what I had in mind all along, is that slow piano build up to the finish. But I just couldn't make it sound right. It's just not well suited for us talking over the beginning of it. It's one of those things that needs to just kind of be playing. So unless I think of a better song, I'm probably going to stick with Big George Webley. All right, so let me see. I just got to find that tweet. All right, here we go. And then I got to find where I said, I'm going to retweet that one. And I'm going to say, all right, I'm going to the video and I'm saying, come on aboard now. Follow the link below. About to talk a little LUS. Boom. All right. And it is 2:59 by my clock here in Central Time in God's country of the central part of the United States. And by I mean as opposed to the Eastern Bloc time. Got to put this back on my account now, or else I'll be tweeting stuff out about movies and comics and stuff to the Wishbone account. We don't want that. All right. Let's see. Oh, we got another comment. Rusty. Hey, Rusty. Sounds good, but I think the podcast are better. Yeah, I know. Well, we're definitely going to do the podcast. That's not going to change. The idea is that we could use this as something for live interaction during the show and then record it separately on the Voice Meter Banana to put out, on midnight. I usually put it up about 11 o'clock, midnight, Monday night, Tuesday morning. Okay. Yeah, sure. Yeah. So we're not going to stop doing that. We're not going to stop doing that. All right. So we got quite a few viewers now. So, like I said, if it is, I have no idea. This is just testing this thing out. It's still got the little duck up there. So it's not branded AU Wishbone. I haven't paid a cent for it yet. I don't want to spend any patron money until I know it's added value, right? I'm loath to spend money of any kind unless I know I'm getting something for it. The computer has really paid for itself already. I'm thrilled with this. This was definitely a good decision, even though it was a lot of money, but it needed to be done. It had to be done. So I'm going to decide. I think it's going to be like $20 a month to get this permanently branded to us, and we can do different streams and all that. I just want to see if it's something that you guys would enjoy and that John and I would have fun doing it. If it adds something, I mean, if it adds something to our show on Monday nights that makes the podcast better, then even if you don't watch the video, it made the podcast better, right? So we'll bear all that in mind. The one thing though, and I was just talking to my wife, because my wife listens to some things like this too, and she had one I thought very good observation. My wife said, don't do stuff if you're going to do the audio from the video that's totally visual, because it'll just frustrate people listening later on the podcast. And I totally get that. So we won't, right? Everything will be the same audio wise. We'll just be able to have comments like Rusty's and Paul's and whoever else. We'll be able to split screen, have John and me together, and we'll see if John and I can maybe try this on Monday after the LSU game, and we'll just see if it's working. All right. So let's talk a little bit about LSU. Just a couple of things that were on my mind. On the show Monday night, I said that I thought we got a weird audio buzz. Hold on. I think the sound card was just messing up. Let me do that and come back. Engine is starting. Maybe you may not hear anything right now. Get some crackle. All right. The audio engine started back up. The audio engine's weird on this computer. So anyway, the thing about LSU, I said about 34-20 LSU, and I hated that. I want to believe, and I do believe we have a chance. Honestly, I think Auburn has a better chance to win this game than any other team that LSU has played this year. And I don't think that's a big stretch, right? It's not a revelation. I mean, Texas was okay, but think about this. Texas gave them a heck of a game and could have won that game. And if Texas can beat LSU, we can beat LSU, okay? So I have hope because of that. I also have hope because our defensive front is going to get pressure up the middle on Burrow. I think probably more than the other team they play this year. And again, this is not revelation. This isn't rocket science. I'm not here reinventing football. These are just things that are in my mind based on every conversation I've had this week, everything I've read, everything I've heard. I think we're going to be able to get pressure up the middle on Burrow. Now, here's the thing about LSU's offense. They don't like to max protect, okay? They would rather send 5 out in patterns. They don't even like holding a running back in to block, okay? LSU believes that they can protect Burrow with their 5 offensive linemen. And most of the time, Auburn Elvis is checking in. Hey, all right, very good. The producer, there he is. That's good to know. And Paul says, Marcelo says Whitlow is traveling. Well, that's cool. Does that mean he's going to play, though? We'll see. I don't know. I think we'd probably all rather have DJ in that position, at least in the second half, maybe. Rusty? I don't know. But anyway, yeah, I think that since they don't like to max protect. They only like to have their 5 offensive linemen protect Burrow. I think I will take our 4 defensive linemen against their 5 protectors. I think we can, as Gus likes to say, we've got some guys as the Arkansas, I think it was the Arkansas coach or quarterback last week said, number 5, number 3, and number 1 are pretty good. Yeah, a little bit. Wouldn't mind seeing 91 on that list too. And so if we can get some pressure up the middle, that messes everything up, because you can have You can have 4 great receivers and a great running back running just the most beautiful, immaculate routes all over the field. And if your quarterback, meanwhile, is running for his life and getting ground into a fine paste by 1 and 3 and 5 and 91, then doesn't matter, does it? So that's the one. My one observation is that I think that their offensive strategy plays into our hands. So therefore, their coach and their offensive coordinator and their passing game coordinator not being fools, okay, I kind of suspect that they know that, and I think that they will probably take certain steps to mitigate it. But then Burrow earlier this week said, no, I don't want to keep a running back in to protect me. I want the running back out in the pattern. In other words, Burrow's position is I'd rather have him out there where I can quickly throw it to him than have him back protecting me and have fewer options to throw to. So if they're going to be stubborn and just keep the 5 offensive linemen back and send everybody out, I mean, you know, I like our chances. Have Owen Papo covering the running back or something. He's so fast, right? And a big hitter. And then send our big dudes after Burrow. So that was the one thing I really wanted to kind of talk about a little bit, is that I feel like most teams, that's a good idea. I'm not sure against our defense that's the best strategy they could do. So if I were looking for one thing on Saturday in the first quarter when LSU has the ball, I would be looking at, are they max protecting? Are they holding the running back? Are they putting a tight end in? Or is everybody out in the pass pattern? If they put everybody out in the pass pattern and we still can't make him uncomfortable, then we're in trouble. But if we can chase Burrow around and force them to keep people in to protect, then it's going to come down to a question of, can our defensive backs cover their receivers? And getting some interesting comments here. I'm being hacked by a Russian bot. I kid you not. Look, this is oh, sure, man. Russia's awesome. I wish you could hear, and I'm kidding, I wish you could hear the soundboard, because okay, that's I actually have the Soviet national anthem on my soundboard, not because of any love for Russia, other than when we do the old the wrestlers, Russia number 1, Iran number 1, Bama number 1. It's one of my favorite bits we ever did. That is one of my favorite bits we ever did, was when we used to do the oh, it's in Russian now. Hey, look at this. He's got Cyrillic. All right, I took Russian at Auburn. Mopode Mopode, which probably means you're right, Van. Why would I ever disagree with you? Well, thank you, Russian bot. I appreciate that. That is not Cyrillic. I'm sorry, sir. That is not Cyrillic. That is a fail, and you lose. But I appreciate you watching. I'm sure he has 3 things on his mind right now: hacking elections, conquering Syria, and how to stop Burrow on 3rd and long. That's the 3 things he's concerned about, and I appreciate him joining us to talk about that. It's all worth it just for these comments I can put up on the screen. This is great. See, now I'm of 2 minds. Okay? Because on the one hand, it would be awesome to have this during the podcast on Monday night with John. And on the other hand, we won't get anything done. The show will run 3 hours. The show. Oh. Well, I can only hope. I can only hope. The show will run 3 hours, though, if we fool with this. Oh my goodness. John, hopefully, since you're probably not watching this live, if this is recording, and again, this is the first time I've used this software. I have no idea if this is recording or not. It may be that the 7 or 8 of you that were watching, it's now down to 6, and I don't blame you two a bit. But it may be that only you guys are getting to actually see this, and it'll just go away into the ether afterwards. But it may be that but it may be that John can look at this on the recording and kind of give us his feelings as to, is this what we want our show to turn into? Again, this is a lot of fun. If this adds something to our show, it would be great. And if not, then we won't do it. I'm not sure what Elvis was objecting to there, but I've been on the air. Let's see. I've been on the air for 30 minutes and 33 seconds. I've talked about LSU a little bit. I've talked about the show a little bit. And we've had some really good comments. Well, I tried it, Paul. I did it a second ago, and you didn't hear it. Let me try again. There it was, right? So apparently the audio system isn't routed into wherever this is drawing its audio. Oh, you know what? I know what it is. Right now, this app is drawing its audio from yeah, I know, Rusty. I'm sorry. But see, I think I've got it. Right now, this app is drawing. I keep putting my elbow on the table and it's making the camera bounce. This app is drawing its audio directly from my mic, which is this gigantic thing, okay? And so it's drawing its audio from my mic, but the soundboard doesn't route through my mic. It routes through the computer audio system into the internet. So in other words, the soundboard is going like that while the mic's going like that, and they're two different things. So I will look at it. Well, we have another Russian bot update. Oh, God. Oh, God. I may make this guy my co-host. This is too entertaining. Yeah, I know. I'm going to get it fixed. I'll see. Just an update. I think I got the soundboard fixed for the podcast, but the podcast works differently than this. So we'll see. Anyway, let's do one more LSU thing, and then we'll kind of wrap up. It's 3:13. We've been on here for 32 minutes overall, and we started trying to talk about LSU at 3 o'clock, so 13 minutes ago. I'm off on Fridays currently, so I had some time to kind of fool around with this stuff. And the show has already gotten out of my control, and I've been doing this for 32 minutes. So, oh, God. So in any case, the other thing I want to say about the LSU game, I've heard that, I think that one of our big problems in the first half against Florida, and I don't think this is rocket science. I think one of the problems we had in the first half against Florida was that they had too much checks built into the offense in terms of, go out there, see what the Florida defense is doing, and then we'll look at the sideline and come up with something new. And, if the Florida, if they'd been playing that in the Georgia Dome, the Mercedes Dome or whatever, or if they'd been playing it, in Texas, or if they'd been playing in Auburn, it would have worked fine, probably. But you couldn't go into the Swamp, which is the loudest stadium in terms of what it's like right down on the field, in my experience, and I've been in just about all of them. You can't do that, okay, especially when they're all fired up at the beginning of the game. And so you can't do it that way. And so for Arkansas, even though they didn't have to because there were 17 people in that stadium, for the Arkansas game, they dialed it back and put some automatic stuff in, which is, I thought, a much better idea. So I think now you need to apply the lessons that we learned in Gainesville to Baton Rouge, right? You need to have automatic stuff. You need to definitely not have anything that requires Bo to lean over and yell at the offensive line and the receivers and the running backs, because you're going to get so many. You only get 3 timeouts, okay? And you start getting delay a game, it's going to be 1st and 30. So I think that on offense, one of the most important things is automatic checks. Don't have them stopping to try to figure stuff out, and give Bo Nix more opportunities to do some stuff he's comfortable with. Give him, for love of God, give him some outlets, right? Give him have a running back go in the flat. You know, it's like we ran the old dump it off in the flat play a couple of times with Joyner 3 or 4 games ago, and it didn't go so great, and we just quit. You know, we give up on stuff way too easy when it's not working for a specific reason. So, all right, I've got a couple more comments coming in. Elvis says, I bet you can go into the sound device properties, enable you to listen to that sound source, which is it. Yeah, I know. There's like 17 controls for that, though, and they all have to be just right. And I've spent days and days trying to get these things right. Like I said, I think I've got it working right for the podcast. I've got to figure out how to get it to work right for StreamYard. And I will. I'll get it eventually. There's only so many ways. But yeah, I think that, yeah. Yeah, so we'll figure it out. I need a producer who actually is here 24/7, right-hand man to actually get my configurations right. I've turned into Nick Saban. I'm Nick Saban, everybody. You know, I'm a little short guy. And okay. I love you too. You've made the show. You and the other listeners. And by the way, Russian dude, you can go to www.auwishbone.com and become a patron, and you can help support this program. So if it means that much to you, and I'm sure it does, prove it. Sign up. All right. Anybody that's listening and have a comment, I want to see if it would show me who the listeners were, but it doesn't. I see whoever pops up over here. What is this? No. Oh, look, we have a place to put a banner. That's kind of cool. Okay, let's hide the current banner. Brand. Yeah, I don't think I can change it as long as I'm not paying for this. So, hold on. It was as if I had come out to the natives. You're an Indian who doesn't know my... It's non sequitur theater, everybody. Welcome to non sequitur theater. I'm Van Flexigo, your host. All right, so I think probably we're going to wrap things up here. And unless somebody has an Auburn LSU related comment question they want to throw up here real quick. Otherwise, I'm going to wrap it up here and fiddle around with the audio and see if I can get the soundboard to work through this thing. So, give me one more minute just to see if anybody pops up and says that, because there's like a delay. Hey, I got the hoodie on. Sporting the new hoodie. Man, if I had known people were going to go so crazy over these things the other day on Twitter, I honestly, no, I do not. I don't have facts to back anything up. In fact, I can barely even back up. I just go forward in life, Elvis. If I had known people were going to go crazy about those things, I would have ordered like 20 of these in different sizes and sold them for about $100 a piece. But Paul says LSU is primed for an upset, looking ahead to Bama. I think that's our other weapon. I think that's our other weapon, is that they definitely feel like, if you're LSU right now, right? If you're LSU right now, you got to be thinking, Tua's hurt. He may be back for our game, but he won't probably be 100%. We have a chance to beat Alabama that we maybe didn't have the same chance a week ago. So I think if they are really focused, we need LSU to really be focused hard on Alabama. And if that happens, I think that's another weapon that we have in our arsenal. So let's see, one more comment pop up. Tricky D 1180. Just want to say, well, thank you so much, man. We appreciate that. We'll be back. We'll be back Monday night, Tuesday morning with a new show. Will it be like this? I have no idea. We'll see what John thinks about this. But we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. And I'm going to see if I can get the soundboard to work through this. So thank you guys that have joined me during the last 39 minutes and 53 seconds. We'll stop at the 40-minute mark. So thanks a bunch. I'll put this on YouTube and War Eagle, and we will see you guys in a couple of days. War Eagle. Let's beat LSU.